So today we're going to be watching 1,000 Pound Sisters, but season 1, kind of the recap, everything we missed. So I am a lover of 1,000 Pound Sisters. I have been watching since season 1. And season 7 just ended. I'm so sad about it. We're going to be going through each season and kind of talking about the sisters and giving my tips, my advice, or my thoughts on, kind of what we're seeing about Tammy, Amy, and the rest of the family as well. If you're new here, I go by Celeste, and I am on a weight loss journey, and I have lost 95+ pounds in about a year and 7 months now, and I want to share my experience as well as bringing some attention to the fat acceptance and health at every size movement, because a lot of them, they spread misinformation, and I just want to kind of, I feel like it's almost my calling in a way to, I guess, promote health and healthy living and everything like that. So if you're interested, go ahead and subscribe to join the channel, and let's go ahead and start watching this video.
It's always been me and Tammy, me and Tammy, me and Tammy.
We always knew that we only have each other.
We grew up very poor. We grew up with fast food mostly, but like if we didn't have fast food, the church would give us food.
There was 5 kids, so our mom worked 3 jobs. We didn't really get much love.
Wow, look at Tammy. That is absolutely crazy. She was obviously a minor here, but I would say she's probably 15, 16 maybe. That is crazy. So like Amy said, usually, they had a lot of fast food because they did grow up poor. And when they were growing up, obviously it was cheaper. So today, in 2025, getting a Big Mac is like $20 for the meal. So obviously that's not how it is today. But before, yes, I could definitely see fast food being a lot cheaper. Now I would say it's actually cheaper to buy, food like whole foods from the store. But yeah, I do definitely understand that. I would say that I relate to that a lot as well. When I was younger, my parents, they usually got fast food because it was a convenience thing more than the price, but it was just easier to just get fast food and not worry about, okay, well, what are we having for dinner? We don't really have a lot of the ingredients. We can't really make anything healthy, or really, I'll be honest, my parents, they don't really know how to cook that great. So when they did cook, it didn't turn out good. They didn't put love into the meals. So usually, yes, I was happier when we did get fast food. So it turned into more of an emotional comfort because, fast food tastes good. They make it that way for a reason. So I could definitely see how, fast food becomes an addiction. It was an addiction for me. Sometimes it still can be. But yeah.
And affection growing up, it was actually quite the opposite. We got told we were stupid, we were lazy, ugly, fat.
Who all the same as you?
Our
mom.
mother, our sisters, brother.
Yeah, so it's a known thing in the show that the sister's mom is kind of here and there. When they did come out, telling their mom that they wanted weight loss surgery, she was like, well, I don't think you can do it. We'll probably see that in this, video as well later on, but definitely, their mom contributed to their weight. She didn't obviously put the food in their mouths per se once they got older, but Chris was one of the ones that was a parental figure, if you want to say, and all the sisters kind of looked up to him most instead of their mom or dad. So yeah, it's really heartbreaking to hear that, their mom and sisters even told them things like that, and I think it definitely had a play. It took part into why they got the size that they are.
Every day I look at Tammy and I'm like, if I don't change now, I could possibly be her size. Maybe by this time next year.
I've been overweight all my life. Kids in school are very mean.
Oh, I can
They would push
imagine.
me, call me names. By 20 years old, I weighed about 500 pounds. It's
Wow.
comforting. By 20 years old.
So 20. I'm 22. So 2 years younger than me. That was about when I was 216 pounds. Sorry if you guys hear my animals, but yep, 2 years ago, almost, I was 216 pounds, and it was already so hard for me as a woman who's 5'1". Gosh, it was very, very difficult, and it was like an eye-opener. When I seen 216 on the scale, Obviously, there were physical aspects to where, yes, it should have been a wake up call. But when I seen that number on the scale, I was like, I've never seen this number before. Obviously, this is not good as a woman, let alone someone of my stature and someone of my age, even. Or even like a human being. Like, we should not be that weight. I cannot imagine being 20 years old and 500 pounds. But that's the correlation, that's like the disconnect from, me, a lot of other people in the health and fitness community, between, people like Tammy and Amy and a lot of other people in the fat acceptance community or health at every size. There's obviously mental illness in play for sure, like definitely once you get to a certain size and then you go over that and you just cannot stop. And like I said last video, once you reach a certain point to where it's hard for you to even wipe your butt, you really need to go to therapy. You really need to look into, the places in your life that are traumatic. There obviously were things that happened to you to get you to this low point. And it's unfortunate, and when it gets to you enjoying these really unhealthy and imbalanced meals and foods every single day, and you're gaining weight rapidly or just steadily, but it's continuous, weight gain, you really have to sit back and think like, what am I doing? What am I feeling? What feelings am I trying to avoid by eating? Your body will never look, and I don't want to be, cruel, but your body will never look human because you've eaten so much to the point where you just don't look human anymore, especially, at the size Tammy was before she lost, a bunch of weight. She was almost 700 pounds. So imagine almost 700 pounds on your body for almost years and years and years, and all the skin just expanding to store fat. Your body's gonna look just completely different even when you do lose weight.
About 500 pounds. It's comforting to eat because I know food is not going to, I was going to say harm me, but it is.
Yeah. And like I was saying, food, and I don't mean to pause a lot, but that's the point of these videos. Food is a comfort, and it is for a lot of people. Food is delicious. Food is it makes us feel warm and happy. And even to this day, after losing a large amount of weight and maintaining it, there are still foods that I sometimes overindulge in, not, continuously every day, but sometimes there are days where I will enjoy a nice, juicy, smash burger, but I make it at home because you can control a lot of those things. If you want to have something, from Chick-fil-A, like a spicy chicken sandwich, try to make it at home. No, it's not going to taste exactly like it, but you can definitely control how many ingredients go into it. You can control and see how much you're eating, the calories, the nutrition. You can use better oils. You can switch out the beef from extremely fatty beef to 93, 7% fat, so it's extremely lean. There are certain things you can change to still enjoy the unhealthy foods, but make them at home.
The size I am now, I need help to do pretty much everything. Cooking, cleaning, bathing. I can't stand in the shower, so I have to sit on the commode.
Yeah.
Amy,
And
let me wash off.
I'll let this play.
Amy! I feel like I'm a burden to her. Can I get some beer, please? I haven't been out of the house in about 6 years.
Except to go to the hospital.
I'm afraid I might fall or have a heart attack. I do dream of getting back my independence. I have to do something drastic, because if I don't, then I'm not going to be around much longer. I can just feel my body giving up.
Wow, and what I was gonna say is, I do have personal experience. That's one of the reasons why I feel so strongly and adamant about talking about weight loss and just living in this specific way like we're watching. My mother is severely overweight and she has to use a chair in the shower. And, when she falls, obviously all that weight is crashing down on her body, her joints, her bones, and it's not healthy for her. And she's not Tammy's size. She's, smaller than Tammy, but she's still a bigger woman. So I can only imagine, if Tammy fell in the shower, she would probably be hospitalized if she fell. And like she said, she feels like a burden to Amy, and it's gonna be rude, it's gonna be, you know, hurtful to say and hear, but she is. When you get to a certain size, you put a burden on yourself, you put a burden on society, and also your family members. Having them do every single thing for you because you've eaten so much to the point where you can't even stand up and walk for more than a minute, that's self-harm. And like my last video, they put an age restriction on it for literally self-harm purposes. But it's like, you know, people like Amberlyn Reed and Nikocado Avocado used to do it, Hungry Fat Chick. A lot of people on YouTube make money gluttoning themselves every day. And people say, well, it's mukbang's fault. No, it's not. It's people abusing the platform, people abusing the community guidelines, and people abusing themselves and the food that they crave and want and indulge in.
We tried walking, we tried pills, we've tried sex. The only thing we haven't tried was surgery.
And surgery for the gastric bypass and everything, I am not against that whatsoever. If you reach a certain size and you feel like, okay, surgery, I've tried everything I ever could have, and surgery I feel like is the go all be all, and it really would help me, I support it. You know, I'm all there. But the things like Ozempic and trizepatide and Mounjaro, you know, all the things like that, no, I do not support stuff like that. I don't even support taking medications like pharmaceuticals. Obviously, when you take these medications, you have to also be putting in the work. You have to, you know, start counting your calories, track all of that stuff. You have to start doing activities and drinking water most of all. But a lot of these people don't, and then they get mad that Ozempic isn't really working, and they'll try this and they'll try that, and what they don't try is literally the basics. Do your research before you take any single medication, any pharmaceutical. Do your research.
You really think you should have that?
I'll start the diet tomorrow.
It's really good possible if she don't get the surgery that she won't make it a year.
God, I can only imagine the amount of pain that she was in during, you know, filming this scene. And it's so hard for her to get into this car. I can only imagine how painful this was.
Awesome, you're almost in.
It was just so unfortunate.
Good job.
I haven't eaten in a restaurant in 6 or 7 years. But we're meeting with our mom today because I want to prove to her that things are about to change. And this was the first step.
Here, I'll get this one.
Thank you. The first thing that I noticed when I walked into the restaurant were people who were starting to look at me. It feels like their eyes are searing into your soul and judging you and just wondering why you're so big or why you're there, or maybe even how much you're gonna eat.
Yeah, and obviously it's not a nice thing to stare. Even I was taught, you know, don't stare. Like it's, you know, it is considered rude. But at the same time, when you have someone Tammy's size, and unfortunately more and more, especially in America, you see people her size almost every day. So when you see someone of Tammy's size, like, you're gonna look. They're this huge human being coming into a restaurant. They're gonna eat. It's just, yes, it is rude. It is not proper. But it's human nature to also observe. And if we are observing this very large human being, we just can't help but look, you know, and I will be honest about that. And she's already so out of breath just from walking from the car to the restaurant. That's a very, very bad sign. Very, very bad thing.
Tammy was having a hard time, but it would have been nice for our mom to say, "Are you okay? Do you need anything?" But really, she's just sitting there being nonchalant.
So this is Tammy, Amy, Chris, Amanda, Misty's mother. Yeah, she's acting completely nonchalant. Like I said earlier, she In all of the seasons, there was only one moment where she really acted like she cared. I'm not going to sit here and, you know, really talk shit about her. I don't really know her personally, but from what we see on the show, she really doesn't give any forethought into the, you know, her children's health, obviously, whilst they were children and adults. So it is very painful to even watch her, you know, not really give them support. We're going to see in a minute that she doesn't really believe that they can do it.
Growing up, we didn't get very much attention, didn't get very many hugs.
I'm not saying our mom didn't care. I'm just saying she didn't know how to show it. I'm thinking that her family didn't know how to show it.
You know, it's been 6 years
Right,
since
and
you've
my
been out
mom
of
is
the
the
house.
same. My mom, she doesn't really show emotion. If she does, it's the negative ones. She was never physically there for me when I was a child. So I can definitely understand, you know, where Tammy and Amy is coming from, you know, having lack thereof in their childhood from their mother. And it does definitely scar you. It does make you want to turn to certain things for that emotional support that you need and never got. So I definitely have empathy and sympathy for the girls.
How's it feel being out?
Really different because I'm not used to, I guess, the exercise walking and everything being out of breath because, you know, right there at the house is just like 2 or 3 feet and nobody's there really to judge me. Out of the house, it's like everybody's looking at you, judging you.
Yeah.
Just afraid somebody's gonna start staring at me and start laughing. I don't want to do it. I'm ready to change. We're doing the bariatric surgery.
I don't think you make it. I think you'll chicken out.
I gotta do something. Like, every diet I've been on ain't working.
It's because you ain't got the willpower. You got to have the willpower to go for it.
And
Like,
I will say their mom doesn't look the best either. Obviously, she's not in good health. She is overweight herself. So it really hits home having their mom, you know, kind of talk about them in that way when she can't even, you know, follow through with her own words either. I experienced that with my mother.
Tammy gives up a lot. If she sees that she doesn't think she's going to make it, then she just gives up. She don't take that after me. I'm a fighter. I've raised 5 kids, so that's kind of her fault.
And with that, I hate when parents automatically say, I've raised children. She obviously, like I have been saying, did not teach her children proper nutrition, activity, love, care, sympathy, empathy, emotional intelligence, none of that. So it's really, really funny, but also disgusting to hear her say that she's raised 5 kids. That's very inaccurate.
Yeah, I'm not going to say it's not going to be
The
hard.
days that you wanna get a
Give up
snack
and
cake,
quit.
you can't.
But you can't.
Whatever I gotta do to get rid of the weight.
They've always told me they wanted to lose weight, but I've heard it so much that I guess I'm like, you got to show me you're going to do it.
Because I'm not weight, I don't have cartilage in between my bones and my knee. They pop out of place and they grind when I'm walking.
They grind.
That's osteoporosis being bad.
I'm nervous about this 8-hour trip because me and Tammy tend to fight when we get in closed locations. I'm hoping everybody makes it to Atlanta alive, but I can't make no promises. You think you can make it to Atlanta?
that Tammy is in just so
On our
much
way there,
pain.
you'll have time to stop in between stops. Like you can sit down and take a break.
Are you crazy? I'll be sitting the whole time.
It was at home on a scale, and it said I was 350. But I think my scale at home was broken, and I've been afraid to buy a new one. This is the moment I've been dreading.
And I will say with like scales, some of them do go up to a certain weight, but it should be like that. That's how it should be. We shouldn't have to have scales that go up above a certain weight because we should not be above a certain weight. And to the point where we have normalized almost being 250 plus pounds, it is crazy to me. It is not healthy, and I don't understand how people can think it is. And that's why we're talking about it.
406.
So right now I am 122. I will be on my period like probably tomorrow, so I am up a little bit. Obviously that's normal. Amy is like 4 of me, you know, put in one human being. But it's just so crazy and still hard to imagine 4 of me put in one person. Because a year and a half ago, I was two of me put in one person, and that was already a little bit painful. I was already struggling doing the smallest bit of activities. I was just so depressed. I did not want to get out of my bed, let alone my room. So I can only imagine how being a woman at 400 pounds feels, and I never will know that.
Seeing that number on the scale just made my heart drop.
Yeah, it's depressing.
This is the most I've ever weighed. In my head, I see more zeros than it really was.
I hate seeing
Makes
Amy
me feel
cry.
like, I don't know, just kind of like...
I know your frustration. I want to put on weight too, dude. You know what I've been eating? The mozzarella sticks are hanging out.
feel that belly is...
But I feel, I like Amy more than Tammy, and I'll definitely get into more why later on, but seeing Amy cry about that, it breaks my heart, but it's nobody's fault but Amy's, and she, even to this day, she needs to take accountability for her actions, for her weight, because she does have 2 little boys now. But when you're a mom, obviously that time is more sacred. That time you get by yourself is more sacred. But honestly, I would think of, having that time to work out is self-care. That is showing your body and your self-love. You can only have so much motivation. You have to be dedicated to it. And if it's something that you really, really want, it's something that you will have and you will get, but you have to make time for it. And it doesn't even only have to be when your children are sleeping. When your children are awake and they are of a certain age, get them involved in your daily activities. Get them involved. Let them know that, okay, working out and prepping your meals, planning your meals is an important part of healthy living as an adult. And once they're more informed and involved, obviously that's going to be a skill and something that they take into adulthood. And that's good on you as a parent to do that for them. That's what we are supposed to do. So definitely get your children involved in, healthy living. It's important.
Okay. No, it's a barrel.
$6.05.
Yeah.
The size I am right now didn't happen overnight. It's my fault that I'm this size.
Yes. And it's good that she took responsibility in that scene. It is her fault she is that size. And she said it didn't happen overnight, and no, it didn't. That was years and years and years and years and years and years of just complete unhealthy eating, not taking care of your health, not really moving at all. And I just cannot imagine a life like that. And that's where also that disconnect is just quality of life. Right now, I would say my quality of life is, yes, there are some aspects in my life I do want to work on and, have them get better, but it's completely different than how it was when I was, bigger. Completely different. The way people treat me, the way I treat myself. I started respecting myself more and putting the work into my body and my health. Therefore, other people seen that and started respecting me way more. And yes, it is unfortunate that people don't respect you when you are overweight, but it's just human nature that we can tell when somebody doesn't take care of themselves. When I did start losing weight, I was getting upset because it wasn't happening like that. And you do see that online a lot, especially by the, health influencers. And that's not true at all. It's not a 2-week quick juice cleanse and you're going to be skinny for the rest of your life. No, it doesn't work like that. You have to just wake up one day. You have to choose a healthier life and you have to continue it and put in the effort every single day. It's not a 1-day fix. It's not a 1-week fix. It's not a 1-year fix. You just start and you never stop. And it's something that you have to work on every day. You have to be smart and conscious about the choices you make. But the results in the end is worth the pain in the ass that meal prepping and counting and working out, it's worth it. I want to introduce my little baby. Look. She's so precious. She looks so scared. She hates being held, but let's continue.
I'm drinking diet soda.
About how many soft drinks are you guys drinking in a day?
I can't count. It's a lot.
What would you say is a lot? Like 6 cans a day?
More than that, probably
10 to 12, you drink a lot.
No
Okay.
way.
At least I'm
so
honest.
yeah, that was also one of my struggles when I was bigger was soda. Even now, when I drink a diet soda, since it used to be an addiction for me, it really was. It's still an addiction. That's why I keep it away. I keep it out of the house, out of sight, out of mind, and that is really a good tip. I will be doing like a 10 tips for weight loss and keeping it off, and kind of another video, telling my story, but having it be not a voiceover, just having it be like us, chit-chatting. But that is a great tip. If you have certain things that you are addicted to or that you go for, if it's in your house, don't buy it. Do not have it in your house. It's going to be a little bit more difficult and time consuming to actually go out and get it, but do not have it in your house. When you have those moments of weakness, that's the first thing you're going to go for. And you're probably going to eat hundreds, if not thousands of calories just on that one thing, and then you're going to hate yourself for it later. So keep it out of the house. That it's not there gives me other healthier options, like a protein yogurt, a protein shake, some vegetables, some fruit, especially because with me having PCOS, I love sweets. I have a sweet tooth, period. So sometimes I'll have a yogurt bowl, add, fresh fruit into it, and then drizzle some sugar-free dark chocolate chips. It's perfect. It helps your sweet tooth. It gets a little bit of protein in. It's filling. Just really, really good switches like that, and just keeping shit out of the house.
No, I want you to be honest, but those diet sodas are going to make you gain weight.
See, we were told the opposite growing up. We were told if you eat something sweet and drink a diet soda, it'll equal it out.
Well, that really hasn't worked out, has it?
Yeah, that's
No.
true. We were told the diet soda will cancel out the sugar. That's some I don't like to leave Tammy for a long period of time by herself because I feel if I'm not there, she could fall. And nobody's there to call the ambulance. So we decided to put a baby monitor in there.
Like I was saying, like if they fall, even like trip a little bit, it's life threatening if you are of Tammy's size or even of Amy's size. So it's very, very scary, especially when they're family or even a friend. It's very scary really to even be around them because you're always worried about their health, and that, like I said, that's putting a burden on your family and friends and loved ones because you're literally making them worry about you constantly just because you want to do this too much. And it's just completely unfair. It's so selfish.
I'm very prepared to hear all the negative things that Dr. Proctor might say. But if Dr. Proctor turns me down, I don't know what I'm gonna do next.
All right, ladies, ready to weigh. Who wants to go
You want
first?
me to go first? She's off for...
Tammy obviously
choice.
said you first.
When I was at the junkyard, the scale said I weighed 406. I'm hoping this time I weigh less.
All right,
Good.
that's 400.2.
6 pounds down.
I've always been the skinny sister, so seeing that 400 pounds, I don't know what went wrong.
All right.
Last time I weighed myself on the junkyard scale, I weighed 605. But honestly, I don't think that scale was right.
It was, Tammy.
$608.2.
I guess the junkyard scale was right.
So
Plus,
Tammy is like 6 of me put together. That is so scary to even think about. Like, just thinking of it in that way of my weight right now, adding on to that each person, and that's Tammy and Amy's size, that is very frightening. It really, really is.
gained 3 pounds.
And then, people say that, you can be obese and still be healthy. You can't. That's not possible. The term morbidly obese is a medical term for too much body fat. Morbid is there for a reason. Morbid means end of life. It means death. If you stay that size, you are gonna pass away. And extremely early, too.
I have a back gallbladder, high blood pressure, thyroid problems, gout.
Okay.
A whole bucket list.
Amy, what about you? What kind of medical issues do you have?
I got asthma, I got thyroid, I got diabetes. I want to have a baby, and I think my weight has affected me not to have a baby.
So that's your motivation, is you want to have a baby? You want to
And I just want to be healthy, not like her. Tell you the truth. I ain't gonna lie to you.
What's wrong with me?
Look at your
Weight.
fatness.
You ain't a prize.
there's a little bit of tension that
These
was raised when the
girls.
sisters began arguing about which one of them was the most unhealthy, which is kind of an unusual argument to have. The reality is they're both really unhealthy, and they both really need to have weight.
And yeah, I can say when a woman is overweight extremely, or even maybe, 60 pounds, it does affect their fertility and their menstrual cycle and just their feminine health in ways you could not imagine. Especially, having PCOS. When I was my heaviest weight, my periods were irregular more than they ever have been. So now at my weight, my cycles have been completely normal. It actually started being normal when I lost my first 60 pounds. So weight definitely plays part in your cycle, and it definitely affects your health as a woman. It really, really does. So that's why, especially for women, it's important for them to, watch their weight, watch what you're eating.
We just listed off a whole list of medical problems, both of you, and most of those medical problems are caused by being overweight. And I don't think I have to tell you that if you guys don't lose the weight, and a lot of weight, you're not going to live very long.
Right. And a lot of people in the fat acceptance and health at every size community says that obesity doesn't cause other health conditions, and I have this condition, but it's not from my weight. It's from, I'm just a special case. No, it's all from your weight. A lot of the diseases that you get are mostly from your weight. And if you weigh a healthy weight or a lower weight and you have a lower body fat, you are cutting all of those risks. So it's like, why would you not want to do that? Why would you not want to live a healthy life? Why would you not want to at least do something about your health? And a lot of the people that make, the fat acceptance and health at every size content, they literally look just horrible. They look so unhappy. They hate their life. They hate themselves. And they just want to spew a bunch of shit on the internet.
We've got a long way to go with both of you guys. I'm going to do everything I possibly can to make you guys healthier, but I need some buy-in from you guys. I need to understand that you guys are all in and you're going to make the same kind of commitment, okay? So I'm going to see some weight loss from both of you by the time you come back. Amy, I need to see you lose 25 pounds before I can approve your surgery. Tammy, your weight right now is at 608. I want to see you around 550. All right, that's a tall order. I gave Tammy a much higher weight loss goal because Tammy weighs about twice what Amy does. At her weight, she should be able to drop weight fairly quickly.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. When you're a certain size, it is so easy for you to lose weight because you're eating so many calories to maintain or to keep gaining the weight that you are. So someone my size, I'm on a cut right now of 1,400 calories. If they only cut their calories by 300 and they're consistent with that up until a certain point, they can lose so much weight. If they cut out sodas completely and just drink water, they can lose weight even that way. If they even go on 1 or 2 walks a day and be consistent with that, they could lose so much weight that way. So when they're at a certain size, no, it's not harder for them to lose weight. It's actually way easier because they can drop all that weight just like that. The smaller you get, yes, it is harder. You will have plateaus, but then you need to reevaluate. Okay, do I need to adjust my calories? Do I need to adjust the activity I'm doing? Do I need a little bit more water? Have I not used the bathroom? Am I stressed out? There's a lot of factors that go into weight loss, but like I said, when you're a certain size, it should be easy for you to lose the first amount of weight very, very quickly.
If she's not really committed to this lifestyle change, she's going to be a really risky candidate for surgery. So before you go back to Kentucky, I want you to meet with a dietitian. Both of you are going to have to completely change what and how you've been eating.
I've been trying to get her to start eating a little something in the morning.
Well, as soon as we get home, we're going to buy groceries.
Shut up. That's home. I mean, since I've been living with you.
Going through this with a family member can always be a double-edged sword. I'm a little nervous right now, given their interaction they had in the office today, but my hope is they're going to work things out and they're going to find a way to support each other going forward. You can exercise. The best thing for you guys if you have back.
Way back in December when I started, I wanted to do this with my mom. I tried to get her to do everything with me, and she just didn't. And that's nobody's fault but hers. And here I am. I made so much more progress, and she's still in the same spot she is in. So she has to take accountability for that, and I have to keep going. I can't stop and wait on anybody just because they didn't want to make the same progress that they should have been making. So it's really only up to the specific person, and we'll see in a little bit. When Amy gets approved for her surgery, she feels bad that Tammy didn't, but that's not on you, Amy. That was on Tammy. And the fact that she didn't get approved should not hold you back. It shouldn't make you feel guilty that you want to continue and go forward. That's not your fault.
access to a pool is to go swimming, because that's going to get that extra weight off your knees
Yeah,
and your hips
swimming
and your
is
back
very,
and so
very
forth.
good.
That's probably the best thing for you. I want
Especially
you back
at a
there in March to check on
larger
your progress.
size.
I'm worried if I don't get the surgery, there's a good possibility I'll never become a mother.
All my life I've been bored. Well, she has too. I got sick this a couple of days ago. At first, yes, I cried and was like sad and depressed about it. But now I'm like, I'm gonna continue working harder to lose weight and continue getting better.
What would you like to say to the haters?
Right, and I don't know what that sign said. It was probably something extremely rude and just derogatory, but I see a lot with people that want to lose weight. They want to do it for everybody else. They want to do it for, their family, their friends, for a boy that they like, or even their ex. Like, I want to get my revenge body and prove them wrong. And as much as that is okay, you can have motivation in ways like that. You don't need to do it for anybody. Yes, you can want to become healthier for your family, friends, but you should be wanting to do it more for you and you only. You're going to be putting in the work, on your body every single day. You are going to be putting in the work on restricting, not eating, and restricting is fine. That's another thing from the Health at Every Size or body positivity, fat acceptance. Oh, restricting's bad. That's an eating disorder. No, sometimes restricting is fine. And I'm not talking about restricting and only eating 200 calories every day as a grown woman. Or no, that's not healthy. That's obviously mental illness that also needs to be addressed. But restricting to a healthy calorie amount, getting in your protein, getting in your fiber, actually paying attention and being mindful of, what you're eating and trying to eat better quality and whole food things, that shows a healthy person.
I feel like everybody's watching me. I'm not comfortable at all.
Me too. There's like a lot of people here.
Yeah, and when I was the biggest I was, my anxiety was so bad because I looked different and I looked a certain way that I was not comfortable with. I was not comfortable in my own body. I was not comfortable in the clothes I was wearing. A lot of, the overweight or extremely obese, people that are on the internet saying, I love myself, I love my body, I'm confident. No, you're not. Because being in a bigger body is not comfortable. If being in a bigger body is not healthy, so you're not gonna feel good. You don't feel good. You're in pain. You're uncomfortable. You are always, paranoid. Like, are they judging me? Are they talking about me? Are they laughing at me?
I mean, you really don't understand how I feel because you're not my size. And you've never been my size.
Being my size, you still get looked at too.
Not as much as you are to me.
Yeah, but you act like.
And I hate that. I hate that in this scene they were going back and forth on, well, you don't understand it. Well, you don't understand it. You're not my size, but you're not my size. And, I still get looks. You guys can both be right. You guys are both right. You get looks when you're 300 pounds, but you also get looks when you're 700 pounds. You're both extremely unhealthy. It's not a competition of who's going to lose weight quickest or who's going to become the healthiest quickest or who's the biggest bitch. Like, it's not a competition. You guys are both extremely unhealthy. You guys both need to, rework the things that you're doing because obviously the things that you have been doing has led you to this point. So I hate that, especially sisters, compete with each other in ways like this. It's disgusting.
What you're going through.
But you don't, because you're not me. You don't
But I'm having the same problem.
Not really. Amy just don't understand that I would love to be her size. Go to the hotel pool and there's stairs. There's no way I can do that. Michael, can you
And
go
to
over
me,
there?
looking at this scene, she can do this. I've never been Tammy's size, but looking at this scene, I definitely feel like she could do this. There are railings there. Amy can, take her walker down, put it at the edge of the stairs. Even the steps in the pool have, those railings there. All she needs to do is even hold on to it with both her hands and really be gentle going down the stairs. It's really unfortunate that these people get to a point where they can't even enjoy the most basic, fun things in life, like going swimming or just simply walking down the stairs. And this scene frustrated me. When I was watching this season, when it first came out, this scene really frustrated me because she doesn't even sound like she wants to try. She's just like, well, nope, can't do this. I give up. She didn't even try. So that's another thing that really upsets me with, overweight people is when they claim that they want, to do this, they want to do that, they want to try this, but then when it's actually time for them to try, they either give up too quickly or they just don't try at all. You have to try something at least. You will never know if you can do things if you don't try. It's just sometimes pure laziness. And that's what I feel like was going on here. She was scared that she couldn't do it. And yes, I understand that. It is probably very scary for someone her size. Because now, Amy's going to go get in the pool.
Amy and Mike are off doing their own thing.
Right.
And I'm stuck just sitting here.
But it's nobody's fault but hers. She's going to sit there. She's going to scowl. She's going to get pissed. She's going to start crying, saying, well, I feel bad. I want to be able to do all these things. But you don't put in the work to actually do these things. You don't move forward after that and start a new lifestyle. You just continue to loathe and feel bad for yourself. And Amy probably had a lot of fun in the pool. It is a lot of fun. And we did not need this scene. We did not.
I'm Tammy. It's nice to meet you.
I wanted Tammy to go to the gym with me, but she was like, I can't do it.
We're gonna start off.
Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about. Even at Tammy's size, she can go to a gym and at least do something. And yes, it's hard for her to breathe. It's even hard for her to walk a couple steps. But if she takes breaks in between, she could at least do 30 minutes of activity. And then if she feels like she can get up and go again, do it. Do it. You're going to build your stamina at that size, and it's only going to help aiding in the weight loss and building your stamina, building your endurance. That would have changed her mental health, I think, completely. Just by proving to herself, I can actually do these things.
Get a little cardio in, a little warm up for our legs. I'm gonna help you get on here. It's a little difficult.
I'm really, really nervous. I'm mostly worried about my back and feet hurting.
Now we're gonna start the workout.
I thought that was a workout. I gotta sit down a second.
Okay, let's sit right here.
Can I? Yep.
And see, like I was saying, her sitting down and taking a break, that is fine. When I'm working out, there are times where, especially depending on where I'm at in my cycle, so even yesterday when I was doing my strength training, I had to take a couple more breaks than I wanted to because it just, sometimes I'm exhausted. And sometimes just our body is not the strongest it is weeks prior. But even when you're just working out normally and, you're feeling good and your endorphins are up and you've had a good meal before or after your workout and you have to take breaks, that's fine. That is normal. It's actually wanted, like if you take a couple breaks in between your workout to kind of give your body a rest, replenish just for a couple minutes, and then you get back right into it. And sometimes you're even stronger after you've taken a break than, keep it going. So, her taking breaks right now, that's fine. That's what I was saying Tammy could have done, but she just didn't want to go.
Are you ready?
Give me one more minute.
Okay.
And it's okay if she takes breaks. You just have to keep going. You have to get back up. You have to keep going. And, you're going to feel so proud of yourself once you're finished for the day.
I wasn't able to get to the gym, but some of the things I have been doing right is giving up a lot of foods that I'd rather be eating. And I'm trying to be more active. For me, cleaning the house is exercise because it's me actually moving.
Barely.
Yes, I'm sitting down in a chair, but it's more movement.
Like that,
than I've done
to me, I don't want to be mean, like I said in the first video. I don't want to be a bitch. I don't want to be rude or anything, but that's pathetic to me. Even at Tammy's size, she can stand up. She can. Yes, it's harder. Yes, she needs to sit down after a certain point of time, but she can stand up. She can do the dishes. You can take a break, come back to the dishes. You can stand up and sweep, take a break, and come back to sweeping. You don't need to be sitting. That is just absolutely pathetic to me.
Long time.
And if you're sitting, how is your heart rate going up? Workouts, they're supposed to get your heart rate up for a reason. You're supposed to burn calories for a reason. When you're just sitting there, you're not really doing anything. You're just moving your arms, moving your legs. And yes, if you're that size, sure, it can get your heart rate up, but not in the way that it's meant to be. And she's taking a deep breath like, oh, she just did a whole
Tammy
fucking
can't get out to
marathon.
go to the gym like I can, I asked Michael to download us a dancing video game. I thought it would be a neat way to move around a little bit more. Come on, Tam.
And dancing, I love dancing for cardio. It's so fun.
Just
really
do
fun.
it.
Even at my biggest, I loved it. It was so fun.
I can't do this.
And that scene pissed me off when I first seen it because, Tammy, yes, you can. Yes, you can do it. And it's like, I wanted to just shake her when I was watching this in the beginning, you know, season 1, 2, 3, 4, up until she finally was losing weight. I wanted to shake her and tell her, like, stop doing this. Stop self-sabotaging. You can do these things. If you say you can't, you're not gonna. You're just not going to. You have to talk nicely to yourself. You have to respect yourself and know, like, yes, there are certain things I might not be able to do perfectly, but if you try, you trying is only going to perfect that skill. You trying is only going to make you able to actually do it, you know, in the future and later on. Life or death at this point for Tammy.
I'm
And
having
Amy
fun
too.
dancing and stuff. And I see Tammy's already sitting down. I feel like I'm
I
trying
would
to
be
help Tammy,
frustrated. And,
but
you know, I've even had this experience with my own mother, you know, trying to get her to do workouts with me, and then she would just give up. And I felt like I was a horrible workout partner. But it's like, I'm not responsible for the fact that she doesn't want to do this. That's her. That's her responsibility.
the dietitian wants us to throw out all the junk food and all the stuff we can't eat, but drinking sodas, eating cookies. It's like an homage to being healthy.
What about Sloppy Joe?
It's sweet.
I mean, it's 13 grams of sugar.
Exactly.
But we put in a turkey burger, it might.
It's still sweet.
All right.
You're like, dang it.
And I'm not sure if they threw all this food away. I hope they didn't. I hope they donated some of it at least, or, you know, all of it would have been the better, you know, solution here. Using the peanut butter powder or just being very sparse and actually weighing the peanut butter out, because most of the time the nutrition label says 1 tablespoon. So you're just going to grab a tablespoon from your, you know, cabinet and just scoop it. No, you need to be weighing these foods out because you're most likely eating more than you want to.
There ain't much room here left. What about Big Daddy?
That has to go. It's not.
And meat like that, when it's sold in bulk like that, sometimes it can be healthy if you're getting it from Sam's Club or a Costco or something like that. But the rolls at Walmart, they sell them for cheap because it's the worst beef you can get. It's full of fat. It's going to make your cholesterol just shoot through the roof if you eat it literally once or twice. And yes, ground turkey is great. Ground turkey, ground chicken, you know, the lean ground beef, chicken, normal turkey. It doesn't have to be ground, but all you know, those meats, they're so good. You can really cook them in any way, but really staying away from the fatty meat like pork, the fatty beef. Pork, you want to kind of have it very sparingly because it is a fatty meat.
I'm gonna leave it in here for him, and he needs to start drinking more water too, so maybe he'll drink water here and take these to work.
Yeah, so that's what I was saying. Like, yes, they can have it in the house, but obviously being their size, they give into temptation a lot. So even if it's diet soda, that's still something you're drinking that's not water. It's not going to benefit you in the long run. It's just something to kind of keep place if you're thirsty or just something you're craving, an addiction. So obviously, yes, it might be Michael's, it might be somebody else's, but kind of not having it in the house, like I said, is the best possible route, because if it's out of sight, it's out of mind. It's going to take more effort and more energy to actually go out and get these things to fulfill that craving and that just want, that desire, rather than having it in the house and then you think about it, you want it, you can't stop thinking about it, and then you go grab it and then you hate yourself later because you gave in.
Don't get rid of Michael's sodas. That bothers me because I live with them, so that means I'm going to be around it too. And I know they're not just for Michael. That's just to cover up because she inside wants it too.
I need to make a
And that's
grocery list
addiction
of all
talking.
healthy food.
I'm just worried I'm going to be hungry.
Well, I ain't gonna lie to you. I mean, there are days that you're gonna be hungry. I mean, like, until
Yeah,
your body get used to
that
eating
is
it,
true.
you're gonna be hungry.
Yeah, like, obviously with how much they're eating, even if they cut back 300 calories, they're gonna feel hungry. They are so big to where they don't have hunger cues, real hunger cues. They don't know when they're really hungry, or when they're having a craving, or when they just eat out of boredom or emotional eating, or even if they're thirsty. I've said this before, when you're hungry and maybe you've just eaten, or, you know, maybe you're not feeling good, drink water and your hunger will most likely go away, or at least lessen. But if it's still there after you've drinking a little bit, you know, a good amount of water, you're most likely hungry and you should probably eat. but also having your meals planned around your protein, and then you fill in, your meal after that, have your protein be the main focus. That's really changed the way I eat. It really keeps me fuller for longer. My meals are way more balanced than they ever have been, and I still have room to, have a nice sweet treat or make, a yogurt bowl like I was talking about. High protein meals and, your fiber throughout the day would really help, especially when you're a size like this and you don't know your hunger cues. It does help.
Hey, Tammy. And today we were trying these protein drinks. The doctor said this is a good way to lose weight.
A lot of protein.
A lot of protein, less carbs. First up is peaches and cream.
So I will say, I do use protein, like protein shakes and protein bars. Sometimes the bars usually make me very bloated. So obviously they're not the best ingredients and they're not, the best to have every single day. Shakes, I digest a lot better. But if they're usually shelf staple, they're probably packed full of, chemicals, packed full of preservatives. The ingredients list is literally this big, this long. Those you want to stay away from. Highly inflammatory, they're going to cause you to bloat, they're going to cause you to have a lot of gas. They usually taste straight up like shit, I'll be honest, just because of all of the stuff in it. And the ones in the containers, it's not for every single one. I have had quite a bit of protein now. So I've tried a lot of different brands, kinds, even, switching from whey to plant. Like I said, it's not for every single one, but the more expensive it is, the better the better the quality it can be, because it's expensive to make good quality whey protein. Making sure you're doing your research on what sweeteners are good and bad for you and really checking the ingredients list. That's very, very important with anything today, especially, is the ingredients list.
A lot of people don't know how it feels to have 600 pounds on your body. I'm not able to get out to go do other workouts, so I'm hoping this works out with the pool.
And she doesn't even have to get out of the house to do workouts. She could easily do things at home. That's what I do. I don't go to the gym. I'm doing my workouts at home, and I've had great success. You can easily do dumbbell workouts. With her size, she obviously can't stand up for a long period of time, but she could definitely do some sitting down, and it could help her so, so much. Especially building a muscle and maintaining it as a woman is very, very important for a healthy body, mental health, and life. So there are things she can do, but like Amy said, she just doesn't want to do it.
That's a big pool.
The biggest fear I have.
And everybody gets started somewhere. I see a lot of talk about, if you're losing weight, you have to go to the gym. Yes, the gym is a great place to go. It's a great outlet. You probably have a lot more results that way, but also, and more structure, but also doing it at home. There's nothing wrong with doing workouts at home. You can have a plan. Like I said before, I use Caroline Gervin, and her plans at home using dumbbells and having a structured setup, week to week plan has completely changed my body, completely changed my life, and I do recommend it. If you're not comfortable going to a gym, at least yet, or you don't really have the money to spend on a gym membership and you'd rather use that money to buy healthier foods and other things like that, workout equipment is expensive, so you could use it on that as well. Do it at home. Do it at home. Do your research, get a structured plan. You just have to stay consistent. You have to do it at least 3, 4, maybe even 5 times a week, and you have to show up for yourself.
Going to the pool is walking down the stairs. I'm really scared that I might fall, but I can't let it keep happening to me.
Come on, you can do it. How does it feel to be in the pool? Whoa, she did it.
It probably feels great having her be in the pool.
It felt awesome to be able to get in the pool. I sat down, and my legs and butt lifted up off the stairs, and I about drifted away. I'm glad I was holding on to the rails. Felt like I was like weightless.
And that's really why it is good for people of a certain size. It's easier on your body, your joints, your bones. You're able to move around like you can't just on Earth because of gravity. All of that weight is just weighing down on you, and you can't really move like you can in water. So if you are of a heavier size, definitely exercise in the water in the pool is one of the best ways to get your activity in. Even for a couple hours, with me, I can swim for hours and hours, maybe not, back-to-back laps, but kind of just chilling there and just kind of, doing runs in place. That's activity. That's doing something. You're not laying on a bed or sitting on the couch. So that's activity, period. And that's a really good activity.
I'm excited to have a wedding, but I've been thinking really hard about something that's been weighing on my mind since the beginning of this journey. What if Tammy don't lose enough weight and I do? Am I supposed to go through the surgery or wait for her? I know me and Tammy are supposed to do this thing together, but I'll tell you something. If I get approved and Tammy don't, I want to do it, regardless if she gets pissed or not.
That's what you're in the way.
I'm not getting any angry.
Right, and that's what I was saying earlier. Like, you can have a friend, you can have a partner, and you can have someone join you on a weight loss journey. But if they're not putting in the work, that's on nobody but them. It's not on you. If you're putting in the work and you're seeing progress, then good for you. You deserve to continue and live a healthier lifestyle. And if your workout partner or your sibling or whoever you're doing this process with isn't making the same amount of progress, still try, talk to them a little bit, try to encourage them to go work out, try to encourage them to eat healthier, whole food, better meals and setting up kind of like a structured plan for them as well. But don't take the blame if they are not making the same progress or even putting in effort.
Well, how's your diet going, girls?
Honestly, Mom, it's hard. I ain't gonna lie, I snuck a couple snack cakes.
You ain't gonna make it if you don't leave the snack cakes alone.
I know, Mom. My relationship with my mom was always a little rocky. She doesn't think we're gonna be successful. But I'm trying to fix things with her and prove that we can do it.
And how many do you eat?
I don't bring them home for her.
So that means you and Michael sit and eat a whole box in the car.
No, we buy one at the gas station to go about our business.
This is exactly what I was
And
talking about.
even one snack cake, like one little of those like cosmic brownies, I used to eat those my whole childhood. Even to this day, I will crave them. Do I eat them? Hell no. But yes, I crave them because they are made for us to do that. Something in our brain changes when we eat food like that. It, makes us crave it more. So the fact that she even ate one and she's, on a weight loss journey and it's so important to her, that's not a good idea. That was a mistake. She fucked up. She needs to, own up to that and then carry on and just do better from that point forward. But yeah, that was it for today's video. We will be doing season 2. Get back up there. We will be doing season 2 next time. I am really, really excited. So I'm really excited to continue this little series here on the channel, just watching 1,000 Pound Sisters and seeing just how far they come and go and kind of just chit-chatting about what they go through and their success and journeys as well. If you have any thoughts, comments, or opinions, let me know down in the comments below and we will talk about it. I will see you next time. Bye, guys.